Okay, thank you for tuning in for part 2 of Period 4's Gray Sunburst t-shirt. Let's look at what we have. We're going to make pieces 1 and 2 first. If you look at piece 1, the width is 22, the height is 27. So we're going to make a rectangle that is 22 by 27. And then we're going to make another one that is exactly congruent because piece 2 and piece 1 need to be congruent. What you'll notice here, this is actually very nice. That this is 36 plus exactly 6 more. What that means is that, plus 8 more is 44. 44 is 22 times 2 exactly. So we can make both of our pieces exactly out of this. In other words, if I mark the 22 right here, this will be congruent right here, and we'll have another 22 left. Perfect. So we're halfway. So we're going to get the width at 22 and the length at 28. So I'm going to go from here and I'm going to mark it at 28 inches. And then I can get both pieces out of this piece right here. So I'm going to try to be exactly 28. By the way, I use the back side of the cloth for a couple of reasons. First of all, if I mark up the back side of the cloth, no one will ever see it. Second of all, the back side is a little bit lighter, so it's easier to make a mark. You'll see it better. And then, of course, one of these will be piece 1 and one of these will be piece 2. It doesn't really matter because they are congruent. But this rectangle represents one piece. This rectangle represents the other piece. And we'll have them both in literally a matter of probably 2 minutes time. Okay, scissors. Anybody? Scissors. Here they are. Alright, it's nice if you have a rotary cutter, but if you don't, these scissors will work well. If you have your own scissors, that's really a good thing. If you don't, I've got a couple of pairs, but these are really the only ones that are really good. So this is the really easy part. The harder part is when we come to doing the head hole, and the sleeves are a little bit tricky. So, getting ready to do the head hole. For the head hole, you're going to need a compass. I'm going to ask everybody to use a compass for the head hole. I think that that's the best way to deal with it. So, think about the diameter of the head hole being 8 inches, then the radius of the head hole is going to have to be 4 inches. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a compass and open it up to 4 inches. And as you can see, these are congruent rectangles. Together they are exactly 22 inches wide. So I need my compass. Here it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my compass to a width of 4 inches. So 4 inches is going to be right here. And that's going to get me a diameter of 8 inches for my head hole. I find the center. There's a real simple way to find the center of any flat foldable thing. So you fold it in half and make a little crease. The spot where it creases is going to be the middle. Now think about a shirt. Let's just think about a shirt. I'm going to mark that right there. Think about a shirt. So our heads are not flat on top of our shoulders. They are sort of in the front. And for that reason, most of the circle of the head is going to be in the front of the shirt, and only a little bit will be left in the back. Think about that for a second. Our heads are more in the front than in the back, so the head hole has to be more towards the front than towards the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this piece 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part, and I'm going to move the circle, center of the circle, towards the front, but right in the middle. So I'm going to really concentrate on getting a good line here. It's not always easy to get it, but you can always reinforce it with a pen when you're done, or maybe even better is just to put a pen on your compass. In fact, with this particular fabric, I think it's probably just better to start out with a pen. So let's see if this pen's too big. Does anybody have a big pen? Big pen. No, skinny pen. Nobody? Skinny pen? Yeah, that's better. That's good. Thank you. Skinny pen that's shaped like a pencil is probably the best. All right. Thank you. And I'm going to again make sure that it's at 4 inches. There we go. Do it one more time. There we go. Now, keeping in mind that we're coming from both sides, so you got to make the circle over the 2 pieces of fabric. So this is kind of hard. You got to make sure that it's not moving on you. And you finish your circle there, and then you can cut your circle out. So we cut a small section of the circle out of piece 2 and a larger section out of piece 1. It's really hard to cut a good circle because it's not straight, and scissors always want to go in a straight line, and fabric doesn't cut quite as easily as paper. So this is difficult, but don't feel too bad if you get off, because you're going to fold this down anyway, so if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. You can always work with it, even if it's a little bit off. Remember, nobody's going to be able to tell if you're off by 1/4 of an inch or whatever. No one will ever know. So don't get too down on yourself if you're having a little bit of trouble with it. As long as it's basically accurate, it will be fine. Alright, so there we go. This is the front of the head hole. It's the majority of the circle, as you can see. And here's the back, and it's a considerable minority of the circle, a small section of the circle. Alright, next, let's go back to here. Wait, where's our worksheet? This one? Okay, yeah. Okay. So our worksheet here, what we've got is we got to cut out triangles that have a width of 3 and height of 8, because that's the measurement we got here. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure 3 to the side and 8 deep, and then we're going to mark the triangles. So the triangles, they come from here. So we'll measure 3 inches this way and 8 inches this way. And then you just, you know it's already going to be a right triangle because the original sheet that you started with was a perfect rectangle. So you don't have to measure any angles. You already got that guaranteed. It was a rectangle. It's becoming a triangle. Again, we come 3 inches to the side, 8 inches down, and this is our line. So we're going to cut off those 2 triangles from this piece, and the same exact congruent triangles come out of the other piece. So they're going to be 3 inches to the side and 8 inches down. Line it up and cut it out. 3 inches and 8 inches. And there you have it. So once you've got the lines, it's just a matter of cutting them out. So we're going to cut these pieces out. And then we're nearly done with piece 1 and 2. So it's a t-shirt. So remind me, class, are we going to have a piece 3 for the t-shirt? Yes or no? Nice and loud and everybody. I don't know if you're paying attention. If you're thinking, it's a pretty easy question. Yes or no, piece 3?
Yeah.
What is piece 3 going to be? Pay attention. Look at your worksheet. What is piece 3 going to be? What is what? But what is it called? What is that? What is that? What is that piece of a shirt? You really can't tell?
Sleeve.
It's the sleeve, of course. Oh wow. It's one of those ones when you hear the answer, you can't believe you didn't get it. Yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, we're gonna have to save that for the next video, but we're finishing up right here, and I'm just gonna show you what we have at the end of this section. Remember, your measurements will be different, but your basic shape will look the same. So, here's your piece 2. This is the back of the shirt. Here's your piece 1. It's the front of the shirt. We add the sleeves and we'll have our t-shirt, which will look pretty much like this. Okay, thanks, and next time it's the sleeves, and the last video will be the sewing. Thank you very much.